Oh gosh. And then Stigma is the next one. So now we're in V solo Stigma. And this one I felt to me like the most closely related to his storyline.
Yes. Yes. I can see that.
So
Yes.
the other solos kind of pulled from the book used to kind of be the foundation for this album.
Hmm.
But I feel like V's storyline that started in the Most Beautiful Moment in Life series, um, this song kind of ties more closely to that foundation story. And so that's kind of at this point I know that this is his character, but we both, when we were doing our notes and we compared, we both realized we defined stigma
Yes.
at the top. So first and foremost,
Right.
stigma means
All right. Okay. A mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstances or quality or person.
yes.
Yes.
So
It's like
in
let's define that so that we know
what
what
he's singing
yeah
about,
what you're singing
but in
about.
the storyline, V's character is and his character's sister are being abused by their alcoholic father. Their mother has left them.
Mhm.
And I don't think it's ever explicitly expressed, but I believe he's the younger sibling in this scenario. I think he's younger
I
than the
did then the
sister,
sister. Yeah.
but
Okay.
they're in the storyline in one alternate universe of this storyline. He does end up getting fed up with the fact that his sister is being abused. He can't take it anymore, and he kind of goes black and ends up killing his father.
Hmm.
And then finally realizes what he's done, but at that point it's too late. He's caught. He's now in jail. That's one version of it, and then there's like I said, there's alternate universes, so there's
Right.
different versions where he stopped from killing his father or like he doesn't. But this song felt like an apology, and it's just dripping in shame.
Yeah.
And my initial question was, who did he wrong? But as you listen to it, it kind of feels like he's apologizing to his sister and kind of to himself for not being strong enough to protect them. Did you get that?
Yeah, no, I yes, I do agree that he was probably the younger one between the two siblings. Um and he felt so strongly because he felt that he wasn't able or he wasn't
He was
protected
powerless.
to protect his sister
Yeah.
against. And it wasn't what he was getting that was breaking him down.
Mhm.
It was breaking him down is what his sister
But
was.
I think especially when we get to the bridge when he says, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, my brother. Even if I try to hide it or conceal it, it can't be erased. Are you calling me a sinner? What more do I have to say? I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, my sister. Even if I try to hide it or conceal it, it can't be erased. So cry, please dry my eyes." Now, I think we had a discussion on who the brother was because it was pretty evident who the
Yeah,
sister
sister
was.
was right.
But I think the brother is his younger him,
Oh.
because I think when he's saying I'm sorry my brother, I think he's referring to the inner child that he couldn't save, the child that kind of died with his father's abuse, and now as a young person transitioning
Mm.
into adulthood and just kind of seeing the repercussions of that little boy in him dying, and I feel like he just feels like he couldn't save him and is remorseful, and then he sees what's happening to his sister and also feels that remorse. But I think there's a little bit of hope where he feels like he could help her, he could save her,
Hmm.
but I think it's too late for the little boy in him.
Right. And here is your degree.
What's the graduation? Da, 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 da. Yeah,
No,
no.
that I never thought about that. That is quite because in my mind, I thought he was talking about RM as
Hmm.
his brother, and I'm like, oh yeah,
Well,
okay, so
because in the storyline they are very closely
right,
linked.
right. But I didn't, didn't even think along those lines because the mom left. We have no idea at what
What stage?
stage in their lives that she had left. But if he is the younger one, then
Yeah, I think and again, I don't know, we don't know for sure when she left, but I think in one of the music videos or one of the shorts in from the HYYH era, I can't remember which video it is, where he's lying on the mattress and he has a photo of him and
both,
his mom.
yeah,
He's a child.
he
He's
is a
young.
child. Yes, 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 yes. Because he
So,
held on to that. He was
mhm,
carrying that around. Right,
mhm.
right. Okay.
Yeah, so I think he was young, and then having to endure beatings from his alcoholic father at such a young age, and then just becoming so numb to that now he's at a point where he just kind of blacks out whenever things go wrong, wherever he's being abused.
Mm,
Yeah, I feel like he's very remorseful over the fact that he couldn't save that little boy that he was,
yeah.
and that all happened to him, and he let him die.
Wow.
We said it was heavy.
Wow.
We said it was deep.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
We
We
did.
warned you
Yeah,
and
we did.
ourselves,
Yeah.
but we warned ourselves
Right.
too late.
Well,
We were already
the
in
thing
it.
and the thing is that even, by us doing this, and at times, we were together, times we weren't, we were
Mhm,
doing this. But the things that, as you think about after you see the story in their storyline and they're going through it, you can see how the way these songs just roll into that and
mhm,
you can see the reality of what they were going through and acting out, and
mhm.
then the songs and what's being said.
And the acting is so good on all of their
It
parts.
is. Yeah,
They
they do.
really play these characters so well, to a point where I'm like, did these things really happen to them? Like, is there some truth to some of this? And I hope not, because if you watch it, it's dark, and I would hate for any of this to have happened to them. But they're so skillful in how they deliver these words to us in the different formats, not just in song, but also carrying it out through the story and
Yeah,
being so
and in
convincing.
movement. Yeah.
Yeah, being so convincing. So yes, I think I stand with quite a few, Army. I would love to see them in some dramas,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
like
I
actor BTS.
yes, yes. That is
Love to
good.
see them in some dramas, but you know what? I'll take what I can
Yeah.
get. I actually don't really have much to add on to that after that. Um,
Actually, I don't either. I just
but I did. Oh, I did have a note at the end. I did have a note. Did I have a note at the end?
there's your
I
end
think
note.
okay, but is it the one I want to share?
I don't
Yes, it
know.
is. Okay, so I
There
said,
it is.
thank you.
You're welcome.
I said he feels so much shame and remorse. It's consuming him, haunting him daily. He feels like he should be punished for wronging someone by hurting them. And now that we know it's
It's
his
an inner
inner
child.
child and his sister, but he feels like he should be punished for failing to protect them. He wears his shame like a heavy coat, weighing him down and overheating his body, causing discomfort and hindering his ability to function normally.
Okay, we're gonna go on to the next one. No, that's really kind of right on the head. That is very, very that description of the shame is
Hmm.
very, very powerful because you it's seen, and even if it's not seen, you see it
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
yourself. So yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I think we need a moment after that.
Oof. Mm.
Okay, let's do a quick inhale. Let that
Okay.
out.
Yeah.
All right, and now we get into first love. Okay, so
Sugar.
if you may or may not know, but I think you know, like I have a soft spot for Sugar.
Just a spot.
Um, I
Is it just a spot?
I love him. I love him musically. I love him, like his personality. Just kind of call it speaks to me. It speaks
Mm.
to me. And the fact that we're still kind of waiting to see him because we all miss him. Actually, I think at the time this airs, he might be out, but I don't remember what our air date on this is. But the
Mm.
fact is, we're newer to this, but there are people who have been waiting for 2 full years for
Yeah.
this man to kind of surface.
And it's been only
And
months for
it's
us.
been only months, but we're in it with you.
Yes.
We're yearning for him too. But I
Yeah.
understand, the more we get to understand their personalities, the more I'm understanding this is his personality.
Mm.
He is the type of person that's just like, I'm gonna do my stuff in private, and then when I'm ready to share, I'm ready to share. And I actually saw a post somebody had said he's doing exactly what he said. He said, "See you in 2025." And he comes out in 2025, like he'll that's when we'll see him. He did not give any indication he was going to give us updates along the way. He did
Yeah.
not say
Yeah.
anything about that. So, you know, he's a man of his word.
Yeah.
He's a man of his
Okay.
word. But yes, I do love it. In this song, I think I fell a little bit more in love with him because this is a love song to a piano,
Mm.
which I immediately thought back to a post that I had posted, like, oh God, 15 years ago or something like that, 10 or
Hmm.
15 years ago, where I had said something about how the love I have for music and how it just has this impact on me in such a way that I feel that kind of unconditional love. And it's true unconditional love from Sugar and from the piano,
Hmm.
because he does kind of personify the
Mm.
piano.
Yes.
And if you think about it, the instrument, like if you looked at an instrument you love spending time with as a person, they would be like the perfect other half, because
Yes.
they're
Yes.
always there for you. And they listen without judgment, and
Right. Right.
it's pure. They don't require anything from you but time. You don't have to
Yes.
be a certain way for
Yes.
them to want to spend time with you. And music is kind of that way. But I
Hmm.
put, and then I'm going to stop talking because I talked a lot. I put, this is the kind of love I feel about music. Music is comforting and always there. It doesn't judge. It lets me feel what I need to feel. But an instrument is like having a conversation. When he plays the piano, it's like he's telling the piano how he feels through the piece he chooses to play.
Hmm.
So now, with music just on its own, I'm the music is speaking to me, and it lets me feel what I want to feel. But when you're playing an instrument, you get to choose what you play based on how you're feeling. So now it's this conversation. You're
Yes.
telling the
Yes.
piano or whatever instrument you play,
Yes.
based on your song choice to play, how you feel.
Hmm.
How you feel, and it just takes it in and lets you play it out. And then I put, an instrument can't abandon you. It's always there, waiting, ready to continue the conversation. So he
Yeah.
does talk about walking away from the piano
Yeah.
during his teen years and feeling that he's been gone for too long. The piano won't accept him back, but the piano is always
It's
there,
always there.
ready to
Yeah.
welcome you back, and have that conversation with you again.
I never played an instrument, uh, but I really love music as well. And when I hear certain instruments, I have to I have to just sit back and listen. And when I listen to music, I listen for those instruments or
Hmm.
any instrument that kind of stands out to me, and then I stay focused on it. And I love the way it makes me feel. I can imagine and just probably a surface of what he feels or someone who plays feels when it comes to sitting down with that instrument. And because even like with the guitar, it's always referenced as it's talking to me,
Hmm.
and you play it and you see the musician, the facial expressions, and
Hmm.
that's, those facial expressions comes from that conversation
Hmm.
that they have with that instrument. And when you hit that pew, well, so when someone just kind of hit you the wrong way, like, it's or the right way.
Mhm.
And those expressions is the conversation that
Mhm.
we witness that they're having.
Yeah.
And with the piano, the drums, I mean, I you just see a drummer just kind of just head back and
Feeling
forth
the
and
music.
he's feeling it and he's,
That
and
means
then
they're
when
deep in conversation.
yeah, very much so. So I can understand without being a musician, understand, and like I said, just surface that that feeling of that conversation, that feeling of having that time that you mentioned with that instrument
Mhm.
and what it produces, and how you must, as the musician, you must feel so elated, um that your conversation is either put on paper or performed or whatever, and the feedback,
Immortalized.
yeah, and the feedback you get from it, it's got to be, it's got to be phenomenal.
You
And
know,
I
I just had a thought. Congratulations to me. But when there's certain feelings you get when you're listening to somebody play and you can tell they're really into the music and
Mhm,
you're just like I feel like that is you getting a glimpse into their soul.
mhm, mhm.
And I I've seen clips of Sugar playing the piano and I
Yeah,
love his soul. And I hope that he has conversations with pianos in front of us for many, many years to
yeah,
come
yeah.
because it's such a beautiful thing when you watch a musician who really kind of has that personal relationship with their instrument, um just performing. And it's not even performing anymore at that point,
No,
it's literally just them in their zone
yeah.
with their instrument. And it's a private conversation that we're getting to look at from the outside looking in. And it's we feel the exchange of emotions,
Mhm,
we feel
mhm.
the intensity of the conversation
Yeah,
once you like lock in. If it's when they're really truly being with that instrument, it's pure magic.
it is.
It's
It
pure
is.
magic. And
It's joy to see it.
there's other artists I've watched just performing while playing live instruments, and oh my gosh, it's the emotion that kind of like starts trickling up.
Mhm.
um there's several occasions I can recall just being in the audience and just crying and not realizing I'm crying, and then I'm like, oh gosh.
It hit me like that.
Yeah, it hit me like that. But
Yeah.
those conversations are such a joy to watch. And yes, please please keep having conversations on stage, Sugar. We love to see
We
it.
love it. Love and now think about when he raps, his instrument is his words.
Oh.
And those, when you see that, and vocal artists, when their instrument is in them,
Their
that their
voice.
voice, that is just so goose
Goosebumps,
bumpy,
yeah.
yeah, because that the music is in them in a different way, and it's just I love watching it. And I I wish I was a musician, but I know several musicians, and I appreciate you
Their craft, yeah.
and in watching you,
hmm
having those conversations when you have them. I
Yes.
really appreciate it.
Yeah, we
So
love being, privy to those conversations,
exactly,
those
exactly.
intimate discussions.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'll end it here with this note I have. So the way the song builds is astoundingly beautiful, and the composition of the piano with Sugar's raspy voice just churns up so many emotions. And then I put I love the cadence because I love the cadence. Um,
Mhm.
he's got I don't know how to describe it other than comfort. Sugar's voice when he raps, especially with this, like he has his moments where he's rapping and it's literal daggers. Like you listen to it and you're just watching him assault someone
Mhm.
with his words.
Mhm.
But then he has raps like this where his skill level is there and it's intense, but it's delivered in such a way that it feels like a warm blanket on a rainy day.
Yeah.
And this one, the piano was just so beautiful behind his powerful raps. But when I say powerful, I don't mean they were loud and in your face. They were just powerful in the messaging, in
Mm-hmm.
the delivery. He has such a way to connect with you through his rapping that he can make you feel how he's feeling. And I feel like with this, the parts where he felt the abandonment, not from the piano, but him abandoning the piano, you
Yeah.
felt that
Yeah.
pull. But then when he had that desire to come back and not knowing if it was okay, if he would be welcomed back, you felt the hesitation in
Mm-hmm.
his rap. And then when he comes back and he's reconnected and you feel the joy and the relief, I guess. And then that opening and closing, yeah,
Uh-huh.
but especially in the closing.
I just in the part when he speaks about his I those days with you, those moments are now in memories. I said, grasping my crushed shoulder, I really can't do it anymore. Every time I want to give up, by my side, you say, I don't want to say the word, but you can really do it.
Hmm.
And I had wrote, I said, the expression of his pain and the experience after he's expressing his pain and the experience after the accident, wanting to let go, but his love inspiring him to stay.
Hmm.
His love was there from the beginning of life, and it'll be there until the end.
Hmm. I
Yes.
don't think anybody really appreciates music the way Suga does.
Mm.
I think I don't know if he's ever talked about it, but I feel like music saved him
Mm.
in a way that BTS has saved Army.
Mm.
I feel like he would be a completely different person if music never found him the way that it did.
Yes. So we got to give it to his mom.
Yeah, because didn't she teach him
Yeah.
about the piano?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to give it to her.
Think he shook his mom.
Yes. Okay. Oh, did you have any more to add?
No, I didn't have any more to
Okay.
add. Although now we're getting into RM's song, and I will say of the two solo songs on this album, these two, or of all the solo songs on this album, these
Hmm.
two pulled at me
Me
the
too.
most, the most.
Yeah.
Um, and I love both Suga and RM for the type of writers they are, and the type of artists they are. And again, I'm not elevating some and putting down others. I love all of them across the board. They all bring something different
Hmm.
to your BTS experience. I connect with RM and Suga on in their lyrics, their word choices, and also through their love of hip hop. But RM's song, so the song is called Reflection,
Hmm.
and this song, when I heard it the first time, hurt my heart. And all I wanted to do was just reach out and hug him. You wrote that? I did. I always do. Like I love
Yeah.
RM because he's just so when he gets vulnerable, like how can you not want to just embrace him?
Hmm.
And I think I wrote that. I feel RM's loneliness in this song, the self-hatred, the anxiety, the desire to be better, feeling lost in the darkness. It makes me cry. I did cry. Tears, real ones. And I'm saying that the way I'm saying it because if you know me, I don't normally do that.
Hmm.
But I did because he's just he anyway, I'll continue. I love
Yes.
RM for his vulnerability. His music feels like a diary, and the fact that he opens it in this way in the music, how can you not love him? And I put that question because I feel like, and I think we've had this discussion, he doesn't get as much love as he deserves.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
mean, RM literally deserves the world. He's gone through so much. He's faced so many criticisms. He's, had to defend not just himself, but the entire group
Hmm.
and elevate them in a way where, they had to be strong against all of these negative comments that they were
Right.
receiving.
Right. Right.
And the other thing is that when he got the negative comments in English, being the primary English speaker,
Yeah.
the rest of the group didn't really know what was being said to them. So he would always take it and kind of reword it in a way that it did not sound as harsh as it was delivered.
Hmm.
And I mean, just that simple thing there, that's so much protection. Like you want
Yeah.
somebody who's going to
Yes.
protect you in that way.
It's taking that bullet.
Yeah, like that was literally,
Mm.
taking the bullet for the group.
Yeah.
his love for them and his desire to protect them is so strong, to a point where when you see other groups talking about how he's the best leader.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are other leaders
Oh
that we
goodness.
think are great leaders in their groups, and they're looking up to him, thinking like they're not even half as good.
Mm.
He deserves so much love.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just, it breaks my heart when I see people putting him down, because I'm like, why would you, like, he's just a little softy. He's just a baby. Like, he's just so, he's so great, because he is both the strongest man and the sweetest child,
Mm.
all in
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
He has, and I think Jimin had said it once, he has so much innocence about him, which is crazy when you consider how much he's had to lead and how much he's had to face in in leading what
Mm-hmm.
he's been exposed to
Mm-hmm.
at such a young age, when he made the decision to be the leader of this group and take them to places that other K-pop groups hadn't even gone to yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's so intelligent, and he's so wise, but he's also so sweet and innocent and clumsy. And clumsy.
Yes. Yes.
And we love him. We love every facet of
Of him.
him,
Yeah. Yeah.
because even if you take away just one thing, he's not our Namjoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um but I never understood how it comes so easily for people to put him down, because well, he's a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's not be
Let's
mean to
start
humans.
there.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
not be mean, okay? We don't like to bully people. It's not fun. It's not nice, and you wouldn't want it happening to you.
Mm-hmm.
But of all the people in the world that you're going to throw hate at, why him?
Yeah.
Why him? Because he has done nothing but advocate for you feeling self-worth and
Yes.
self-love. He has
Mm-hmm.
done nothing but show you love and affection, even when you don't show it back.
Mm-hmm.
He has been very unconditional in how he loves fans and non-fans. He's just a lover of humanity.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
just a lover of humanity.
You
And
can tell by his
he's
activism. He's just,
yeah, he's
yeah.
he's all for the people. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter what you look like,
Mm-hmm.
what you sound like, who you love, like. He's gonna support you. So why do we find it hard, or why do people find it hard? Because I don't. But why
Yeah.
do people find it hard to support him? That's my little mini RM rant.
Okay.
I
Well,
just I just love that man so
yeah.
much, and I feel like he doesn't get the love
The
he
recognition.
deserves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I
recognition
really
he
hope
deserves.
that he finds someone that's going to hold him through all of the harsh words that are said to him, because they, for no reason whatsoever, there are so many
Yeah.
thrown at him. And
Yes.
yeah, he needs somebody's going to hold him down, because he's been holding it down for so long on his
Yes,
own.
yes, yes, he has, and he needs somebody to hold him. And that, and like you said, I feel like some of this about he just wants to caress himself. That's
Oh
the
yeah, in the
one.
lines, yeah.
It's just a wanting to feel or think this or have the sensation of being hugged. I mean, it's just
That touch
that
deprivation.
touch, right? I had listened to this song. I had to listen again at the beginning when I first found out. But this was written at a park in Seoul, South Korea, Han River.
Mhm.
And the opening of the song is the sound of the river.
Mhm.
He recorded it on his phone, and you can hear that is the and it sets the tone for the track. I really think it does, because a lot of what he was feeling in the place that he was at there at the park, there was so much that had gone on there. It was known for the bridge there was known for people taking their lives,
Mhm.
and he felt that. And I think that here in the water, knowing what has gone on there, and feeling what he was feeling, really, just kind of,
I
how can I say?
wonder, I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt your thought, but it just hit me. I wonder if he was there to do the thing that people
Did there?
did there, yes, on that bridge. And I wonder if he had a moment of reflection, and
Yeah.
he decided to record that. I don't think when he recorded it, he was like, "Oh, this is going to be the intro to a song," but maybe it was a reminder that he chose life.
Mm.
And so he maybe he recorded it and said, you know, when I'm feeling down, I'm going to play this to remember that I chose life
Yes.
over giving up. And also in the moments where he's doing great and he's like, man, this is such an amazing thing that's happened to me. He can go back to that recording and say, if it wasn't for this moment where I chose life, I wouldn't have this to celebrate. Like, I wouldn't be here. And then maybe at that point, he said this would be a great intro to a song.
Yeah.
This
But
would be
it's
great to put it, or maybe he was writing it and went back to that track. I wish I knew. If I could, I'd ask him, be like,
yes.
what was your process
What
behind
was your
this?
process?
But
Yeah,
I this
exactly.
this song, I mean, he has definitely been very open about his depression and his anxiety and his mood swings, um with, with everyone. He doesn't hide it. It is who he is. But also, when you listen to his music and you learn more about him, you realize he did have those moments of severe depression where he thought maybe this is that final moment. And luckily for all of us and for himself, like, he didn't follow through, but we know those thoughts were there.
Mm.
He has shared that those thoughts were there.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like maybe that was one of those moments where the thought was there, and then he had just a quick moment of reflection where he said,
Right.
no,
Yeah.
let me just kind of save this moment so I can recall it when I'm feeling this low again.
What is the saying? The willow tree and Pocahontas about the river.
Oh gosh, what? I haven't watched Pocahontas in forever. Which
The
scene is
flow
it?
of the river. Uh, you
uh,
can never step in the same river twice.
oh, just around
Something.
the river bend?
Yeah, just around the
uh,
riverbed, but not the song so much as. Oh, well, maybe it is in the
no,
song.
that's
It's
what,
in the
yeah, it's in
song.
the song. It's part
Okay,
of the lyrics.
yeah. Uh, and
Because
so
it's always changing
it's
and
always
flowing.
changing and
Yeah.
flowing. It's
Thank you,
always changing. Thank
Pocahontas.
you.
But Grandmother
Yes.
Willow was wise, so
Yes. Very wise.
she
Very
was smart.
wise.
But yes, it's. I'm sorry, you were going somewhere with that.
I was no, I was just the idea of the river, and you were talking about mind changing, and although he was there at that time, if he was to go back, it may not be the
It wouldn't
same.
be the
It
same
wouldn't be the
river.
same.
Yeah.
But I also, of course, I like that he had instrumental
The
in his
chorus,
the
yeah.
choruses. Yeah, I like
Oh, there
that.
was something else. Okay, this is I didn't write it down, but I wanted to note it. When he starts his song, he starts it not rapping. It's kind of like almost like singing or a spoken word.
Spoken
It's
word.
somewhere in between spoken word and singing.
Hmm.
But I love it because that's not his what he's known for.
Right.
He's known for rapping, but he starts off in this very vulnerable method of performing,
Hmm.
in this song slash spoken word sort of, or singing slash spoken word verse. And I feel like that kind of gives you a glimpse into maybe how he was feeling, and it's not himself
Mm.
because he is a rapper. So
Right.
I just, and not that he can't sing, because I don't know if you've ever heard some of the demos he's done.
Yeah.
There's a clip of a demo that he did for Serendipity. If you haven't seen it, you should see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's got a great voice, but
Hmm.
I feel like his comfort is in rapping, like,
Yeah.
because his strength is in rapping, because he knows without a doubt, like, he's so confident in his ability to rap. And I think he sings when he needs to. But I like the fact that he did kind of open this with this soft vocal,
Yeah.
as opposed to just coming out rapping,
Yes.
because it just kind of opens you up to show that he's coming from a place of not weakness, but
Mm.
not himself. And there
Right.
was another note, I didn't write it down, but I felt it, about the music style. The music to me, and I don't know if you felt this, but it felt very out of place in this time.
You know, I stated that I can imagine that while he was sitting there by the river, that the music was what was playing in his head,
That he
and
had already composed
that
it.
he it was already there, and or no, not in this already there. That's not right. While he was there, it came to him, and it wasn't what he normally uses, normally
Yeah.
hears, or normally comes out of him.
This,
So
yeah.
this was very specific
Mhm.
to this and very intentional, I think, as
And
I
I
listened
think
to
it
it.
too. And
Yeah.
I was, when I was listening to it, because I literally had this album on repeat for a few, almost,
Weeks.
yeah, a few weeks. How long have we been preparing for this? I think it was like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So yes, this song has been on repeat on my drives to various things for work. But every time I heard it, it always felt out of place in the midst of the rest of the album, music wise. And the instruments, because I think there's a synthesizer that's used,
Mhm.
it felt very 80s, which I was like, that seems weird. But I was like, what if that was on purpose?
Yeah,
To
I
make,
think.
to reinforce the feeling of feeling out of place by using a song style or a music style that's not of, the current time.
Right.
I don't know. That's just a thought. It was something that came to me, and I forgot to write it down, but I was like, let's hope I remember it. And
Yeah.
I did. So thank you.
Well,
Thank you for that. Woo.
I definitely
But
think that it was intentional. It wasn't intended for the album. I think it was intended for this because of where he was, what he was thinking, what he put down on paper, and it the flow was different than what we normally get from him.
all right, so going further into the song, I've already touched on this note about the love and hate directed to him. But at the towards the end of this verse, yes, where he says, "I want to be free. I want to be free from freedom." And I wrote, "This is such a heavy line. What does it mean to be free from freedom?" And then later, I think I had seen a video or looked at a breakdown of the lyrics, and basically what it was saying was, when you're free, like when you have freedom, you're responsible for everything that happens. You have to make the right decisions to get the right outcomes. There are more consequences than if you're not free and things are being done or told to you on how to do things. But now
Okay.
the power of choice becomes something you have to execute every day.
Mhm.
And what if you make the wrong decision? I feel like he's talking about how anxiety inducing it is to have to direct your life on your own. And so, yes, you want to be free from having somebody else kind of run your life, but also, how scary is it to have to run your own?
Mhm. Yeah.
But then he follows up with, because right
Right
now
now
I'm
I'm
happy,
happy,
but
but
I'm
I'm not
unhappy.
happy.
And I said, you can be both.
Yeah. You can be
You
both.
can be both.
Yeah.
Oh no, I did write the note about the music. I put
Oh,
the
good for
music
you.
feel. I put the music itself feels lonely and isolated. Yeah. But anyway, going to the outro, I wish I could love myself. He says that 8 times.
Mm.
And I said, this feels like a mantra he whispers to himself in the darkness between sips of beer while watching others live their life as if they know their destiny. And he sits still and lost.
And I looked at it as him saying to himself while being hugged by someone who really loves him.
And it could be both. It could be
Yes,
both.
it could. Yes, it.
It could be something where he is kind of wishing that for himself, but also in the embrace of somebody else, feeling the love from them and wanting to have that
Love
love for
from himself.
himself.
Yeah.
RM. Why you got to do this to us? Kim Namjoon,
Oh.
I have words.
Oh.
Okay?
Oh.
Like, stop making me feel feelings. Stop it.
Stop making me feel
But
feelings.
also, I love it. So thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Because the more I listen to him and the more I listen to Sugar, the more human I feel. Yeah, because they make me feel feelings and I didn't want to, but here we are.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Here we
happening.
are. So thank you, but also shame.
No shame.
Shame on you. I didn't want to get real,
Oh
but
gosh.
here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all tell him I'm looking for them. We're gonna have conversations.
Tell him, please
You
do.
tell them.
Tell him. Tell him.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my
My
gosh.